Excellent. Greetings and welcome, wonderful people from all over the world. This is Mari Smith coming to you from very hot, sunny Ashland, Oregon. For some silly reason, I decided to broadcast to you from my sunroom. Well, only because I'm hosting family and I had to convert my office back into a bedroom. And so you go with the flow. Hey, I'm a third line. You just trial and error, right? I'm joined here by Michael Brown. Thanks so much for being here, Michael. And I believe you're dialing in from Boston, right?
Yeah, Boston, Massachusetts, east coast of the United States, close to New York for our foreign visitors.
Our foreigners. Yeah. And Vanessa, you're in a really interesting part of the world. You want to share with folks?
Yes, I am in Grenada, Southeastern Caribbean, which people normally have never heard of, but now they have because of the hurricane that just passed. But
Yeah.
luckily, everything is good where I am. So
I am glad that you're safe. Wonderful.
thank
Feel free to
you.
use the chat, my friends. Oh, Encinitas here, Ottawa, Colorado, UK, Portugal, Israel. Goodness gracious, this is wonderful global uh, turnout here. And just off the recording, we were mentioning about Scotland and Canada and Italy now. This is great. So without further ado, I'm just going to share my slides and we'll jump right in. Feel free to use the chat. If you have specific questions for myself and or Michael or Vanessa to do with the program, to do with anything we're talking about here today, feel free. Ideally use the Q&A. It's a separate little button, if you know your Zooms pretty well. There's a little Q&A and pop your questions in there. That way we can keep it a little bit separate from the chat. But if you overlook that and put a question in the chat, we'll get to you. We'll make sure that you get all your questions answered. And I just love it that we have such a wonderful international group here today. All right, so let's do this, and we are going to share my desktop share, and that should be coming up. Perfect. So you can see my slides. Awesome. I'm gonna put myself over here. Well, the cameras. I think I'm just going to put the cameras up there. All right, blueprint for social media success for human design and BG5 professionals. So today is a free open house webinar just to help you discover more about this program, get your questions answered. I've got a lovely outline for you. What we're going to do is just a brief little about us, who's going to be leading the program. Then I'm going to talk about you, like who's the ideal person for this program. A little bit about the program. Actually, even before there should be another bullet, but I'm just going to let you know. I'm going to give you kind of like the lay of the land of social media, a little kind of introduction that's pulled from some of my other programs. Hi, Kylie. I'm so happy to see you there. Great. So then what to expect in the program? Why would you want to take this program and why now? And Q&As, and then we have this wonderful concept called hot seats, and we're going to be doing them both ways in the main program, and we can experiment with that a little bit today. I am a 1-3. I love to experiment, and those third lines of you can relate. But a hot seat will be the social media aspect of it. This is where you can volunteer for me to look at your social media, whether it's your Facebook page, your Instagram. More than happy to look at your website, your landing pages, your lead magnets, your whole flow of how your business structure is set up. I do this in my own classes for my own students and clients, and it works really well. The other type of hot seat is we have your chart. We bring your chart up and we look at your chart and give you some input on mapping your particular unique, beautiful, differentiated design to how you might, I was about to say experiment, but if you're a third line, you would be experiment, but how you would want to do your marketing in a most satisfying way if you're a builder, most successful, putting the focus on your clients, if you're an advisor, and how to make the best impact, if you're an initiator, that kind of thing, okay? And of course, we've got our evaluators. And so then we're going to invite you to join us if it's a fit. So myself, I have been studying human design since January of 2021. So I'm just coming upon my 3.5-year mark. For 17 years, I have been the leading Facebook marketing expert, a social media thought leader, and there's just a little brief showing you what I am and the 2 different languages, BG5 and human design, classic builder, generator, 1-3 authority, pioneer, which is known as the, oops, I flipped that. You see, I'm spotting mistakes in my own slides. That should be investigator, martyr. Okay, sacral authority, collaborative. My bridging gate is 1, and there's my chart, so you'll have it in the slides. We are recording this, and we will give you the slide deck as well. So my bridging gate is 1, and you'll see As my teacher, Lavina, has told me over the years, I am very what she calls top heavy. I'm top heavy. I got 6 activations in 4323. You think I'm born to explain? I love it. And I think, honestly, for 17 years, my career in social media marketing, specializing in Facebook, but I do obviously do all the other channels as well, except TikTok. I'm not a TikToker. I think what's kept me going in the career for 17 years, the longest I've ever stuck with any one career, is because there's so much mutation and change and stimulus that I enjoy, and there's so many things to break down and explain in understandable ways, to organize my 1762, right? Just to organize. Rebecca, you have the same cross. I love it. Isn't explaining fun? So I'm going to be explaining social media marketing and integrated with your human design with Michael and Vanessa's help for sure. And speaking of Mike or Michael, I know you go by both, and you're a long-time seasoned BG5 instructor, express builder, 2-4, and with Sacral Authority. You want to say a little brief, anything else? I'm going to stop sharing for a second so we can put the spotlight on Mike. Anything you want to say about your experience with BG5 and being an instructor, or just a little hello, anything that comes to mind? Oh, but you're muted, Mike.
I got excited. I jumped again.
There you are.
So I started studying BG5 human design in 2005. So I was one of the first crop of BG5 teachers in the
Wow.
IHDS.
Mhm.
And then I took a little break for a while, and then I come back to the BG5 school. So human design / BG5 to me is one of the most powerful ways of understanding yourself and how to operate both in your life and business. So I just really enjoy being able to explain someone's design and break it down into really simple terms. Mari and I are new to one another. I am so excited to be working with her. So we are going to work together in a sense.
Co-facilitate, co-lead.
Co-facilitate, yeah, that's a great word. So she's going to be
Co-interpret.
your social media expert, and I'm going to be the person who helps you understand your design based on what Mari's talking about. So I'm really looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. And while we have the slides off the screen, Vanessa, why don't you say a little bit about your own human design / BG5? Just a quick minute or two.
Yeah, everyone, I am a 5-1. That is a messenger, authority, public role, or profile in human design. I'm an express builder like Mike, which is a manifesting generator, and all of my functions or centers are defined with the exception of my completely open inspiration function or head center. And I have been into human design just about the same length as you, Mari. And I'm completely obsessed with it. We all know that first quality, first line, and how much we love to study these things. And I'm currently certifying to be a BG5 analyst, a BG5 consultant, and I've been Mike's TA pretty much since he's been back teaching at BG5, and was very honored to be invited to support in this journey.
That's great. Thanks, Vanessa. Yeah, it's awesome. I actually had my first foundation reading of human design, I want to say around 2003. And some of you will relate to this. Quite a funny story, real quick, is that obviously, it's all about timing. For most of us, it's about timing. And that whole thing they say, when the student's ready, the teacher appears, and vice versa. When teachers are ready, the students appear. And in 2003, I had this reading. None of it made any sense. It was all a bunch of hieroglyphics, went right over my head. Only one thing I remember, that analyst said to me, Mari, you have a very busy mind. It's probably hard for you to meditate. And I'm like, yep, hello, 6447. Now I know. But it came kind of like back and forth into my life. And it wasn't until winter solstice, late 2020, a dear friend of mine was coming to stay with me. I lived in San Diego for 25 years before moving to Ashland a year ago. But as I was just saying in the chat or the green room, born in Canada, Scottish parent. So I have triple nationality. I have 3 passports, very blessed. But so this friend's coming to stay with me, and she says, she's an express builder, defined survival instincts, spleen. And she's like, Mari, I don't know why, when I was leaving my house this morning, my intuition told me to grab this book and bring it to you. And she reached into her bag, brought this book, and she's showing me the book. And I swear to God, talk about sacral response. I leaped out of my chair. I'm like, human design, there's books on that. You can study it. I mean, it still gives me goosebumps when I share that story. And it just was the perfect timing. Not long after my Chiron return, my Chiron is the right angle cross of service. My natal is explanation. I had been feeling a sense of less satisfaction with my Facebook marketing career, now 17 years. I just kept, I want to make a bigger difference in people's lives. I want to be able to make a, transformative breakthrough, a way that really helps people live life more in alignment with their true selves. Little did I know I was actually speaking the language of human design, right? Or BG5. So awesome. Great to be on this journey. And I do have Mike's chart there. You can see he has the 3420 charisma. And there's Vanessa, 5-1, as she said, messenger authority. And with only, it's amazing. Yeah, I know your chart and mine. And my chart, I know the lights on the cat tree, but the cat tree isn't for climbing on right now. Sorry. Third line. Hello. We're in a fourth line day now. I was happy to see we're now in a fourth line day. Great chart here, Vanessa, which is fun to see juxtaposed with mine. And then Eva, is Eva here? Eva's going to be joining us as well as an assistant. Looked like she made it, but that's fine. Eva's amazing.
She's here. She's a panelist.
Oh, I'm looking at the attendee list. Oh, Eva.
Hi everyone. I just married. I can talk today, so I'm happy to join the next week.
That's fine, sweetie. No, I'm just glad to hear your voice. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's wonderful seeing you all.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I think it's great. It's going to be great having an advisor here as well in this program. 3-6 pioneer leader. All right. And there's Eva's chart as well. Sarah, I put you in here, my dear. Sarah's amazing. We've been working together quite a bit in the marketing and system side of the BG5 Business Institute. So wonderful to be with you here as well, dear Miss very individual Sarah. I love it. We have a few activations the same. Yeah, feel free, by all means, my friends, feel free to pop in the chat so other folks get a sense of who's here. You're more than welcome to put your type in your profile in the chat. I think that'd be amazing. Speaking of which, and good timing. So the folks who are, and by the way, I know we have folks in the class here that may or may not be a human designer BG5 professional, or maybe just curious to check out, okay, what are those folks up to over there? And so I invited many members of my own community in the social media marketing, Facebook, to come and just join and get a sense of what we're doing here. The actual program, the Blueprint for Social Media Success program, is for human design and BG5 professionals. And there is prerequisites on the sign up page, which we'll get to a little bit later. But about you for this program, or sense or feel whatever your cognition might be. I'm feeling cognition. Anyone else feeling cognition? We feel everything, right? It's correct. So you have this sense it's correct for you to grow your business. Like the timing is right. You want to attract more clients. You're ready to increase your revenue. You'd really like to have a bit more cash flow coming in. And social media marketing may be an area that you're drawn to improve. And more than likely, you have some kind of a presence on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn or TikTok. I put maybe X, formerly known as Twitter, whatever. I don't really do X much more. Twitter was great in its heyday. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm over X. And Threads, I don't know. Threads is Mark Zuckerberg's answer to X/Twitter, but I don't know if they're going to be really taken off. So beautiful. I'm seeing the chat here. We have lots of great folks in here. A 3-5 sacral GM, maybe MG, manifesting generator. 4-6 splenic projector, says Danny. Marsh has a 1-3 emotional generator. Cross of explanation. Yay. Lisa's a 2-4 splenic projector. And I can say, Ibrahim, I'm so happy you're here, Ibrahim. Ibrahim and I did a BG5 certification together. I didn't even mention, I'm in PTL4, and I have gone all the way through the BG5 certification. I am stuck. I'm not stuck. I need to schedule time on my calendar to get my PTL4 final assignment and my BG5 certified consultant final assignment completed. And then I'll be a certified analyst and a certified BG5 consultant. Let's see, we've got more. I won't be able to read them all, but I'm just grabbing a couple folks here. Daisy's a 5-1 emotional projector. And oftentimes what I do in my own webinars is I will read a little bit of the chat. So it gives the folks watching a replay a little bit better of a sense, because the chat doesn't really go with the replay. Christiane, pretty neat. Yeah, a 5-1 manifesting generator, emotional, split, cross of migration. I love it. You lose focus. That's cute. Yeah, with so much content production, we're going to be talking about content. That's a great point to bring up, Christiane. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, and this is great to give each other a sense of who's here as well. I'm seeing a lot of human design language, and just a little bit of BG5. So we're being ambidextrous. This course is ambidextrous. We can talk human design language and or BG5. So you're ready to implement proven methods that align with your type on your chosen social platforms. Now, I taught this for years, that you do not have to be on all these channels. You might just resonate with Instagram. Whoopsies, back up. I thought it was on my draw tool. There it goes. Instagram might be your jam. You're like, Mari, you know what? I don't want to touch any other platforms. I'm just really into Instagram. Perfect. Go for it. We will totally support you in that. You'll see with some of the program teachings, or it may be like I do. I'm predominantly Facebook and Instagram. I do a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of LinkedIn. I do not do TikTok. I deleted the app off my phone years and years and years ago. I disappointed my 6 followers by deleting my account. And I really don't do much with action threads. So one of my main strategies is where you're going to pick the 1 or 2, maybe 3 platforms that resonate with you the most, that light you up, that give you energy, that you feel like you can make that impact, you feel like you can be successful, and the rest, just forget it. Don't give in to all the peer pressure that's out there. And you'll see in a minute when I get into the bulk of my talk here. So the state we're going to talk about next year is a little kind of excerpt from some of my other trainings, is the state of social media marketing today. Now then, the most popular social networks worldwide, just as of a couple months ago, is these stats right here. So Facebook is number 1, has been really since they were first launched, over 3 billion active users on Facebook. And you can see the ones I got circled, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the top 7 are owned by Meta. So for example, when we get to the module talking about ads, really simple, basic ad campaigns that you might be able to decide you're going to invest in at some point to get more qualified leads for your business, when you advertise through the Meta platforms, you are placing your ads on Facebook, Instagram, certainly Messenger and WhatsApp are ways that you can get people to respond to you. And now you're in a direct conversation with them. So wonderful possibilities. And this is brand new stat. Just the updated stat, 3.2 billion people around the world log on to 1 or more of the Meta family of apps, as they're called, every single day. So it's a massive captive audience. Like I say, even if you just did Facebook alone or Instagram alone, or maybe Facebook and Instagram together, I don't know about Threads as the little black logo at the end there. They had 175 million. They just celebrated their first birthday on Friday, and we'll see if they fly or not. I know that Meta is doing a lot more with WhatsApp in terms of what's available to you to reach your customers, to connect with them, to advertise on WhatsApp and get more, possible leads. Here's the thing. Look at this guy. He looks kind of down, doesn't he? The problem, my friends, is that you're probably struggling to get consistent results on social media. You quote unquote should or need to be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, but it's kind of no fun anymore. It feels like a drag for many of you. I can relate. I mean, that's why I'm going to be teaching you in the main program a variety of approaches that you can select that will feel correct and in alignment with your own true inner authority, or DMS, decision-making strategy, right? So maybe your reach has dropped off. Reach is like all the platforms, reach is lower because there's just so much competition. People are spending more and more time, and there's more apps popping up every day. Maybe your engagement stagnant, crickets, your traffic, meaning like the people clicking to your offers or your website. So what worked in 2023 is just not working today. And that's the thing that it's really important to update your approach, your strategy, your method, the way in which you are putting yourself out there to make sure that you're utilizing today's methods, again, in alignment with what works for you. So for example, you all remember how, I'm going to stop sharing just for a second, just for fun, give you a little break there. You remember how when I guess it was mainly Reels. Reels is the vertical format, the videos that are portrait. And on Instagram, they're also on Facebook, but it's Meta's direct copycat of the TikTok videos that made TikTok so popular. And for a while there, everybody was doing pointing, right? And you point like this, and there's text popping on the screen, or they're like lip syncing, or they're doing some kind of dance. And I'm just like, none of that was in alignment. I'm like, that is so not me. That is so not on brand. I'm not doing any of that. I don't care if everybody is doing the lip syncing and the pointing and the dancing. It just didn't feel congruent to me. So that's what I'm meaning, that you can use. I'm definitely doing reels because you've got to be doing reels, but not the pointing and whatever goofy shenanigans people do. A lot of folks say that social media marketing today is pay to play. It in some ways it is, but there's still a lot you can do organically for free. And that's a lot of what I'm most known for. Is I'm been referred to for many years as the queen of Facebook. You could even say the queen of Facebook organic marketing, because there's so much you can do without having to pay. Now, you've probably have this sense similar to the other slide I had with the guy, just feeling like, you know, I don't know why I had two guys, but oh well, these are just stock images off Canva. Thank you, Canva. But social saturation, there's actually 5 billion people using all these different social platforms, spending, believe it or not, 3 to 4 hours a day. How do these people get any work done, right? Bouncing around between 7 and 9 apps a month, and there's new apps coming out every day. So there's this total overwhelm when it comes to social media saturation. And now there's also AI overwhelm, AI saturation. We're getting bombarded every day with ChatGPT and Gemini and Microsoft Copilot and Claude and all the different apps that are just coming out like crazy. Side note on that, my friends, definitely check out, I'm going to go school like this, because for anybody here that is really wanting to learn more about AI as it applies to marketing, this is an organization run by a friend of mine, Paul Raitzer. They have a great podcast, comes out every Tuesday. They just shipped this morning, and you find a lot of great free resources in their podcast. But that's one of my top recommendations to learn more about AI, simply because there's a lot of overnight experts on AI. And it's like, okay, why pay to learn things when you can get a lot for free right there from the Marketing AI Institute? So you're like, okay, make it stop already. It's just too much. People are just tired of posting across all these social platforms, not really getting as much results. And then now, because of AI, what's happening is people think, oh, I know. Hey, guess what? You've all probably seen those ads or posts where it says, make 300 social media posts in 3 minutes flat. New AI. And it's like, just because we can doesn't mean we should. We're living in this time of infinite content, but there's finite attention, right? Everybody has 24 hours a day. The goal isn't to fire hose our followers and just blast them with so much content. And I love this quote by Seth Godin. Some of you might be familiar with him. He's a great marketing genius. So he's saying basically, if your work isn't more useful or insightful or urgent, we could say impactful, makes a difference, mutative, than GPT can create in 12 seconds. I think he said that maybe at least a year ago. We could update that to like 2 seconds. Don't interrupt people with it. And I am so with Seth on that. It isn't about, wow, zowie, look at this new AI content. Oh, here's an AI image. Here's an AI. I wrote this whole thing with AI. And I don't know. It just kind of does my head in a little bit, because authenticity is the key. You'll see in a minute. I have a slide about that. The other thing too, along with this great push for cranking out more content, is for quite a while now, we have been programmed by YouTube, by TikTok and by Meta, Facebook and Instagram, that it's all about being a creator. You've all kind of maybe heard that. Maybe you think of yourself as a creator, and that's okay. But you'll see one of the lessons I'm going to be teaching is about this approach that not everybody can be a creator. Really, only about 5% of actual creators and the social media terminology are making any money. They're going to tell us the conditioning, the programming. They're telling us, oh, just publish masses of content. Yeah, but you know why? So they can shove their ads in it, so they can make money. The tech companies, they're going to tell you, hey, dangle this carrot. Hey, you can get this bonus if you crank out more content. But I'm here to tell you, no, that's not the answer. And it's really not about creating what's called synthetic media. You might be seeing this. I'm going to have to turn my fan up 1 second. I might turn my light off and my fan up because here we go with more heat. And just get it blowing on me. Okay, synthetic media is anything created by AI. They literally call it synthetic media. And I have found my own self scrolling through my feeds, and then I'm just about to like or heart or haha or love, and I'm like, get this sinking feeling in my gut, in my sacral, and it'll be like, wait a minute, that isn't even real. And because I always think a reaction is like a form of endorsement. So you find out, oh my gosh, that thing I was about to endorse is fake, it's false, misinformation. Here's a quick example, for example. The aurora in Finland. This is all the guy said, right? He just put as the caption, aurora in Finland. I think, did I see we had somebody here from Finland? And that's all he did. Now watch this too. I mean, this is just, I don't know, as we even call it clickbait, but it's like share bait. Almost 600 shares. And it looks stunning. And this was one of those ones where I'm like, oh, that's stunning. Oh my God, let me heart it. And I'm like, I think that looks realistic. And sure enough, it was fake. And I've put a little screenshot of some of the comments, right? Here's a photographer, a professional photographer saying, no, stop this crap. And someone else was saying like they lived in Finland. She says, I've never seen that. You know, someone else saying it's an airbrush painting. And so I'm here to tell us all that if we overdo the creation of AI content, it starts to create that erosion of trust, and that's not what we want. We're all, I call us meta marionettes. We're being controlled, we're being manipulated, we're being conditioned, we're being programmed, crank out tons of content, make money for us. And I'm here to tell us all, nope, we want to be in the driver's seat of our own vehicles of our, I suppose using human design language, we're actually the passengers in the back seat. But in terms of where your business vehicle is going, that I want you to take back control. And authenticity is making a comeback. What I mean by this is some of you who've been around as long as I have in the social media arena with like 2000, I got on Facebook in 2007. They opened it. It was open 2004 for the first 2 years for education. And this word authenticity was bandied around so much, right? Everyone's like, oh, be authentic, be authentic, be authentic. And it got diluted. The meaning, the impact of this word is like, whatever. Okay, oh, that's authentic to you. Okay, it's authentic to you to whatever, be a troll. But my point here is that the real human to human component of social media marketing and putting yourself out there is making a comeback. Now then, who can tell me, answer me in the chat, what percentage of the world's population has an open willpower function or open heart center? Who can remember the percentage of how many people have an open heart / willpower function? So Kieran says 70, Rebecca 70, Solongo, that's a fun name, 80%. Paulina, you're saying Paulina says 67. Eyelet, 70. Sarah, 70. Jim Hans, 66. I believe it is 66. Yeah, and Rebecca saying 30%. So it's probably, you could basically say 2/3 to 3/4. I believe it's 66, but you could easily say 70. Yeah, and 30% are defined. Nadia saying 65. Yeah. So it's really fascinating, isn't it? When we can look at the bulk between what, 2/3 and not quite 3/4, that would be 75%, but we could say 2/3 of the world. You just need to take one quick skim through social media feeds and you can see so much not self, open, willpower function, heart center, right? And what happens is there's this like cognitive dissonance, there's an incongruence. People can feel or sense or know or intuit, whatever your own, I'm feeling cognition, so I tend to use feel a lot. But there's a sense that something is off. Who you're being is incongruent. There's a misalignment. So I put 65, not self, open, willpower, heart, trying to prove itself. What are other ways that might the open willpower heart center show up? Let me know in the chat what your experience or your knowledge or what you've learned through your human design or BG5 training. What are some of the ways the not self shows up in the open willpower, which is and the most prevalent, well, the head or inspiration function is the most with 70%, because only 3 gates or traits, right? And Jim is saying, I can't promise the accuracy as I have the open heart center. I love it. I love it. Yeah. 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 Well, I've got it right there. Of course, it's trying to prove itself, right? Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. I see your answers coming in. Rachel saying, not knowing its worth or an inflated ego. Exactly, Rachel. An inflated ego. Christiane has a defined will. And I think someone else, Veronique, has a defined. Awesome. Myra, over promising. Yes. Edge, making promises they can't keep. Kieran, making promises. Yeah, exactly. Look at me. Overinflated ego, making promises they can't keep, not feeling good enough. Also, I'm not seeing it yet in there just yet, but trying to be competitive. Yeah, Kirsten's got it. Being competitive, jumping into things just to prove something, right? Yeah. Not being good enough, Eva. Christiane, feel as an open will a lot of times. Yeah. Oh, I see, Christiane. Yeah. Prove worth. As Solongo, I notice people talk about do this and do that to be worthy. Yeah, to be deserving. Yeah. Great answers, everyone. Yeah, and the other thing too, we haven't mentioned is actually not charging enough, like giving things away for practically free and not really valuing their own self, their services, their products, their outer authority for others, right? Jim saying, not knowing what to, there you go. Yeah, you're reading my mind. Yeah, exactly. Perhaps a donation. You get defined egos to set your pricing. I love it, Jim. That's fun. Nadia says, not knowing how much to charge for services. Yeah, giving away too much discounts. Yeah, exactly. I'm to be fair, I have an open willpower heart. I'm guilty of that. Although when I do one-on-one, here's the thing. I love to make my group training programs very affordable, because in that model, in that business model, it's called one-to-many, right? One-to-many. Whereas when I'm doing individual, private, one-on-one consulting, that's my time where I really charge significantly more if you're going to work one-on-one with me, right? So here's the thing about really staying true to yourself. I'm on a mission to make social media marketing so much more authentic, in alignment with who we are, and not just your open or defined heart center or willpower, but your whole genetic imprint, your whole design, aligned to your design of what's true to you, and you will absolutely attract more marketing. Now, other than our initiators, manifestors, the builders, generators are here to respond. The advisors, projectors here to wait for the invitation, right? Mutual recognition and invitation. And the evaluators, of course, there's a slightly different strategy. I know, and I will say in all transparency, I'm not as knowledgeable, I will say, about evaluators or reflectors, although I have 2 in my family. I've got 2 nephews in Scotland are evaluators, reflectors. So aligning to your design. I love this little Garfield. He's one of my favorites. Puts in Boots, I think, when he was originally in Shrek, right? But Antonio Banderas, I love him. So that's him going, trust me, trust me. But we want to build more trust. And that is what I'm talking about when your social media marketing, the way in which you're putting yourself out there with content that resonates with you and your audience. You're using a platform, whether Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, one or more platforms of choice, that it really feels true and in alignment with you. And you're using methods that that also, are in alignment with you. If you're a third line like me, you can learn by trial and error, of course. Our fourth line, fourth quality folks here, you're going to be building your network, of course, and so on and so forth. Now, I like this trust slide because this is actually a graphic I found on Canva. And what we're looking to do with this authentic, aligned social media marketing is build that trust, being sincere. There's definitely an aspect of consistency. It's something I've been teaching for years. It's better to have maybe 2 or 3 posts a week if you can manage. You don't have to post every day, even if you do a couple times a week, and stick with that frequency or cadence, right? That's no problem. But best not to not post for like months, you guys, a whole month gap or weeks on end and you haven't posted anything. So consistency, competent, that's what you'll be learning in the course, of course, having integrity, being in alignment with your own differentiated, unique design, being committed, and being reliable. Those are simply words I found on this graphic. I was going to just blank everything out and make it just trust. And I'm like, you know what? I really like all those keynotes. Let's put all those keynotes in for what we're wanting to do with aligned, authentic social media marketing. And this is a quote that I've been saying for a little bit here since ChatGPT blasted on the scenes in was it October, November of 2022. I think people never even heard of AI before that. Of course, it's been around since the 1950s. So masses of AI, artificial intelligence, particularly generative. That's what blew up in late 22 is generative AI. The concept where you can type in a prompt and the AI spits out, I use the word spits out, generates. I think that the generative AI must be a builder type, right? It generates. And that it produces written, image, video. Video is a huge area that's really blowing up right now. Big money to be made. Hollywood must be feeling a little nervous. And audio, music, making your own music. So anyway, all this AI hype, volumes of content, constant what's called push marketing. Push marketing is the opposite, as I think I even have in there. It's so 2005, it's a long time ago, where you're just pushing marketing out there, but there's no exchange, there's no engagement, there's no community and connection. Now, of course, I'm my conscious personality sun is 4. In the line of pleasure, 4-1 is the gate of answers in the quarter 3. Duality, purpose fulfilled through bonding. So when I learned that by myself, I'm like, oh, no wonder I wrote a book called Relationship Marketing. I'm all about relationship marketing. And I realize that's true for me and anyone else potentially who's in the quarter 3 as well. But I put here, we need to emphasize connection, relationship building, and fostering strong communities more than ever, and spoken like a true third quarter person. At the same time, I'm Navigate 27, which I just love to nurture my communities. And that may resonate with some of you as well, because it isn't just about, okay, push social media content out there, check a box. It's really about having that interaction of gauging the interest level of your audience members as to would they like to do business with you. And that's one of the key things when I do the hot seats, the social media hot seats, is I look at how obvious is it for me if I'm standing in the shoes of a prospect and I'm coming to sign up to get a reading or do a course or a consult or coaching, whatever it is you offer, like how obvious is it where I could just click a button and talk to you or sign up or got my credit card in hand or that kind of thing. So let's switch gears and just take a quick peek at the program outline. Thank you, Ranchelle. She says she's happy to be in my experiment. Yay, 1-3 reflector. I love it. I love it. So we'll start out, and it's going to be on Tuesdays. I know today's Tuesday. It will be 1 hour later. Today we started at 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. It will be, the classes are going to be noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. And I'm going to just grab this link right here, just in case for you multitasker overachiever folks that want to look at the page while I'm talking about it. But actually, no, it wouldn't be a bad thing for anybody who's really thinking about it to just go. You do have to have done all foundation, ideally all semesters of the foundation, whether it's IHDS or BG5. And then there's some recommended prerequisites, but it's just that the reason being is because the intent of this program is not to explain or teach the fundamentals of human design or BG5. So you'd be coming to this program having knowing the foundation. But this foundation is about the social media, knowing what your opportunities are, what niche to specialize in, what challenges you might face. I'll be talking about going deeper on what I just touched on a little bit today, social media and AI, how to stay current in module 2. And then the 4 paths, one of them, I'll give you a sneak peek because we talked about it earlier, is the creator. One of those paths is being a creator. And I mentioned about only 5% of people actually making any money because they're relying on these third-party payouts. They're relying on the bonuses and YouTubes and Metas for their income. And I tell you, it's not a sustainable business model. I want to encourage you and educate and teach and guide and lead where you can monetize your knowledge, your brilliance, your experience. And then this 3-part evergreen success formula, no matter what Zuckerberg changes and craziness is going on, that he will actually, this evergreen formula, it still works. And then, so we're going to be talking about content. We're going to go, content is, video content is part of content. I decided to dedicate a separate module just to video content, how to create and repurpose. Now, here's the thing. If you're not comfortable being on camera, I am going to teach you some methods where you can create video without being on camera. It's not a prerequisite. You have to be on camera. 7 is about community. Now you can see the formula right there is content, community, and conversion. Those are the 3 parts. You've got to have content going out regularly. You're building your connection, your community and engagement, and then converting all of that activity to leads and sales. And that'll be the class 8 will be where we talk about both organic and paid methods. And actually, I'll go deeper into the paid methods in class 9. And in class 10, we're going to talk about how to uniquely position yourself and package your I put consulting, it may be consulting, could be readings, it could be classes. I'm not sure all what you teach or offer. And then we've got some bonuses. So these are ones that you'll get when you sign up for the program. They're not there yet, but they will become July 23rd. So there's a social media marketing and business development, what I call clarity worksheet. And all of these materials I use in my own business. If you're not clear yet on your, what's called ICA, your ideal client avatar, like who you best serve, that's there for you. A social media marketing audit optimization checklist. I'm going to encourage you to do that first. So you're going to do a checklist of your own current social media marketing and content marketing checklist, and then a glossary of social media and AI terms. Now, what do I have next? What to expect? I'm going to get to what to expect in a minute. I'm going to come back on camera just for a second. I'm going to tell you all something here. I got my fan blowing. That's why my hair's, I'm having my share moment or something. This same 10-part curriculum, a version thereof, very close version thereof, I led in partnership with another institute about 1.5 years ago, and they were all writers, copywriters and writers. And there was also a certification attached. So to be fair, it was a certification. We decided this first iteration to not make it certification. So we'll see how this version goes, and love to have you join us. What I'm going to tell you, price-wise, the Institute, the Writers Institute, people paid $2,500 for this same program. So just letting you know that you're getting an amazing deal, because we've made it, as you can see, it's only $697, and you've got 300 off before 1 week today. I really encourage you. Take your time, emotional decision makers, of course. Use your strategy and authority. There's zero pressure from me. The invitation is there. The offer is there. We'd love to have you join us if it's a fit. We'll get to your questions in a minute. And like I say, we might even have time for some hot seats. So what we're going to do in these classes, the first part, 45 to 60 minutes, will be me teaching content lecture specifically around social media marketing. It'll be interactive. It'll be big emphasis on actionable. I'm going to include some very doable practices that you'll be able to do each week and go off and try or put into practice your own self and your own social media marketing if you want. It's totally optional. And then take a short break, and a stretch break, and then we'll come back and we'll do chart work. So depending on how many folks are in the class, we'll just go by volunteer and we'll have your chart up on the screen and Mike will do bulk of this part. Obviously, I'll chime in my own insights as well, and you'll be able to discover more insights about your own chart, your own genetic imprint, and how best to apply each week's social media marketing teachings. All right. And then the hot seats. So the one I mentioned about me reviewing your social media channels and or website offers, lead magnets, messaging, your brand, and provide you immediate improvement to help increase your reach, visibility, and results. So that's kind of what the structure of each class will look like. And there's even put a fancy little hot seat and added a wee crown there. So, or a wee tiara, you can just sit in the hot seat and we'll be very gentle, I promise. Everybody learns, by the way. I love doing hot seats in my own classes for years because the brave volunteers that decide to raise their hands, everybody learns from them. Now, why this program? You have invested so much into human design and BG5 training. I know, like me, I'm 3.5 years in. Sometimes I do as many as 5 classes a week. I'm in the second year of DDP, Differentiation Degree Program, with Dr. Andrea Rekel-Wolf. Many of you have either done DDP or in DDP. I love Dr. Andrea. She is a phenomenal human being. And I love how she is such a guardian of this knowledge and really true to its original delivery that we all had from Ra, our dear Ra Uruhu, founder and first student. I like how he calls himself the first student. And then with the BG5 as well. And I'm also in Dream Rave. I'm in second semester of Dream Rave, and I've done tons of programs with Lavina. I did all my PTLs with her, as well as I've done radical transformations 3 times, still wrapping my head around variables. And even though in DDP, well, I'm lab strategic mind, repetition, Mari, repetition. So you've invested time, money, energy, effort, practiced. So if you would like to reach more people, would you? Would you like to reach more people? Would you like to transform more lives, impact, touch more lives? Could you help more businesses, all of you BG5 folks, or human design folks? So this knowledge is needed now more than ever. I can tell you we're getting closer and closer all the time to 2027, the background frequency changing and that 3420 and everybody hustling and busy, and the gig economy and side hustles. And yet people are unhappy, frustrated, angry, bitter, disappointed, right? In their relationships, their career, jobs, environment we could put in there, right? Their house, their whole life or lives. And so people need you, and the way that they get to you is through marketing. They don't know about you unless they are able to come in contact with you, to be recommended by other people, or to bump into you, or to investigate and find you, or to respond, or to accept the invitation from you, right, my friends? So I get on my little soapbox because this is really neat. This is transformational work, my friends. There is nothing like human design and the BG5 knowledge on the planet. I studied personality assessments since my teens, the DISC, the Myers-Briggs, the Strengths Finder, the Enneagram, you name it, everything on astrology a little bit. Nothing compares to human design and BG5. So my intention with this program is to empower you. I have the 214 and 6 activations in my 2343 to empower you to create the most authentic, true self-aligned social media marketing presence, content, and campaigns that are engaging, efficient, and effective. Those are my keynotes that resonate deeply with your audience, which leads to, for you, increased visibility, higher engagement, more prospects, and more paying clients. Of course, that means more revenue. We like cash. Cash pays the bill. Cash affords you a different lifestyle. I have 14.1 in my unconscious South node, which is money isn't everything. And I did go through those first 30, 40 years of my life thinking money was everything. But now it's like, oh yeah, my North node is 8.1 in the line of honesty, making a contribution that's honest. Would you like to join us? Register before July 16th for the best pricing. Get ready for a wonderful journey, and we would love to have you in class, my friends. I don't know what show that little GIF is from, but I like it. I will see you in class. So with that, I'm going to switch gears, and we got our Q&A/hot seats. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and put the link back in the chat. If I can get my keyboard to work. There it goes. Of course, that's where to check out more and see what's available. And yeah, so let's switch gears and see what questions that you have. Chris Montoya, I'm so happy to see you here. Will this course be using any profit potential ideas to translate our design into social media during the course? Now, good question, Chris. As many of you know, this program started out as originally as a collaboration between Lavina and myself. Unfortunately, there's been a change. I'm saying unfortunately, I don't know why my mind's saying unfortunate. It is unfortunate. There's a process to go through to assimilate a big, big change like that. I will tell you hand on heart, a little bit of a grieving process. And I spoke with Linda, Sarah, Michael, Vanessa have come on, and it's important that this program goes ahead. And so it's going to be a little bit different than initially planned, but we're still here for you and to give you the best value possible. Michael is very, very experienced with the foundations and certification. I have done semester 1 of Profit Potentials. And of course, disclaimer, I am not an instructor for human design. I'm not an IHDS or BG5 instructor. This is the special programs, social media. At the same time, I don't know. Anyone want to speak to that? Michael, you want to mention anything to do with that for Chris? Because other people might have a similar question.
Yeah, I'm not, so I'm trained in the profit potential, so I won't be offering that too much.
Yeah.
With that being said, Chris, the foundational knowledge gives you a lot of information to work with. So I wouldn't underestimate how powerful the core of your design is.
Yeah, I totally agree. I do agree. Yeah, because profit potential is obviously, Chris, many of you here may have been through it or started to go through it like me and intend to finish it. It's 4 semesters. So it's a long program. And there's some fundamentals, like we know that how you're designed to make money is where your third lines are, starting with the open centers, open functions. Now I have 5 third lines, all of which are in the 4323. And so I told you I have 6 planets. So I have 6 activations, 1's a line 1 and 5 are line 3s in my 4323. So is it any accident I make money by speaking? I monetize my ability to explain. And so that's just real brief, obviously my own application of that knowledge. Someone's asking, will this course work for a 6-2 manifester? This course will work for every type and every profile. No question. Absolutely. Chris is also asking if we can't attend live due to competing priorities, will you address our charts or other ways to interact? Yeah, so of course there'll be the forum. One thing, Chris, that's a great question, because one thing we could do, Mike, is I always do this in my own classes. I always want to make sure that everybody gets as much support and attention and interaction and individual, explanations as they need. And so we will have the forum. So for example, if you're learning asynchronously, we can give you an option to say, hey, volunteer for the hot seat, and then we'll make sure that you get your chart will be up on the screen, and we'll give you some feedback. Yeah, no question, Chris. So in other words, my intent, certainly, I'm sure Mike's and Vanessa's, that whether you're showing up live each class or you're asynchronous learner, you're going to have a similar experience. Veronique, how can we attend when for the hot seat sessions, my communication is all in French? Ooh, gosh. So I'm not sure, Veronique. I'm not sure how you've done your other classes, if you have a translator or if you're able to put the Zoom translations on. Does anyone know how to answer?
Mari, she
Yes,
had
dear.
posted in the chat earlier, it's Vanessa. So
Yes.
she had mentioned in the chat that she does all her social media content in French. So I think her question is more around her content. So she does speak English well enough to participate in the class, but it's around her content.
Okay, so good question, Veronique. What I would do, I'm just imagining my mind's eye. If you were in the hot seat right now, I would not. If you have a website, I would hit that little translate, right? Because Google's got the little translate thing there. So I could do it that way. Sometimes not so much in the, no, but they do. There's a translate function in Facebook and Instagram. So I could totally, I love a challenge. I would totally be able to do hot seats for you, Veronique, even in a different language. I know just enough French to be dangerous. Same as Spanish. Angie's saying, I would love to receive some direction on correct marketing strategies on my design. Okay, so then you've gone ahead and given us your chart. Ooh. Okay, I love it. I'm going to put this over here. And if there's any questions in the chat, oh, thank you, Kylie. Oh, that's funny. I think that's actually, I don't know if you posted that or if your AI posted it. Thank you, Kylie's AI note taker, for reminding me that I need to schedule time to complete my PTL4 and BG5. That's really funny. These AI things taking over. All right, so let's do this just for fun. We'll give ourselves a little practice. So this was, oh, where did my answered questions go? Angie, this is Angie's chart. And we have here a 1-3 like me. So yeah, you are absolutely going to experiment with your marketing. And then you've got the sales, 4426. And forgive me for just jumping right in, Mike. I would love your input here on Angie's chart. And she's got the defined willpower function. Mike, you have anything to say? She says, I'd love to receive some direction on correct marketing strategies for my design. Well, first of all, it's going to be in response. You know, it's so funny because I do have some favorite channels. 214 is one of my favorites or strengths. And I love exploration, following one's convictions. You know, Tony Robbins has this one. Tony Robbins has a 3410. Following your convictions, and it's fully conscious and part unconscious, right? So, Angie, when you have a response, for example, some of the ways that I recommend for social media marketing for generators, builders, is you're simply going to scroll through your feed, your Facebook, your Instagram, YouTube, whatever it might be, and you see what your sacral, what your gut responds to that other people might be doing. And you think, like, for example, earlier when I was saying my gut was not responding at all to the lip syncing and pointing, pointing around the screen, dancing, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that, I would have to look in conjunction with your chart, Angie, to just see what you're doing already right now, and then ask you some yes/no questions would be another way. And to learn a bit more, it's hard to just look at a chart and then say, okay, do this, do that for the marketing. That wouldn't be correct anyway. I'm not your, I'm an outer authority on social media marketing, but you're your own authority in terms of what, how you want to put yourself out there. And yeah. So that would be something that would be fun to experiment with you in the hot seat, to just see. And you've got this ability to transmit potentially, right? I don't know if you're like my mind wanted to say asking for the sale. If you're good at asking for the sale, in social media or marketing language, we call it CTA, call to action. So that's one of my recommendations for pretty much everybody, no matter what type, is make it clear and obvious. If I were to look at any of your social media posts, Angie, I would want to see, that it makes sense to me what this person offers. I know what to do. I'm going to go tap on the link in her bio, or I'm going to DM her, or I'm going to tap the call button and call, or I'm going to sign up for this free report, this free video, this free webinar, that kind of thing. And so, but thanks for putting your chart in there. I will be really happy to do more explorations as the course goes on. I think we had another question come in. Oh, a lovely name. Yeah, is it only for BG5? Yeah, and Sarah's answered you there. The course is for BG5 and human design professionals. So we're going to be ambidextrous. You're welcome, Angie. Yeah, that's exciting. I look forward to seeing your website and or social media and seeing what more support that I could provide. Mira, I was looking at the answered questions. Mira or Myra, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. It's pretty. I may not be able to take the class this year. Do you have plans to offer it yearly? I love the topic of the class, so I want to know if it will be available at a later time. Well, assuming the experiment goes well and people enjoy the class, I would imagine that the class will be offered again. Can't promise. Open willpower, open heart, right? But I'm going to guess that this will be very well received and well attended, and you'll be able to have another opportunity. However, of course, for everybody who it's feeling correct for, we'd love to have you, join us in this first iteration. Rachel's asking, what if you have a business with partners? Will you cover tips for marketing and social media that align with a collaboration of types versus your own business? Sure. I mean, I'm totally open. I am open to discussing anything you all want to bring to the table to fit your own unique situation and your own unique design, your own unique way of approaching marketing, and even asking you, for example, what has worked in the past, what, I'm not sure your type, Rachel, but like looking to see what has lit you up. What have you found satisfying? So for me, for example, classic builder, I tune into my own energy, and my 214 is unconscious. And it took me a while to recognize even the sensations in my sacral that was letting me know this is a yes. So I'll get like invitations in my inbox, my email. People email me to be interviewed, to do a podcast, to do a speaking engagement, to collaborate in a program. And I've gotten so much better at recognizing when I can feel this, not only a rising of energy, I can feel like my individual cells, even my organs expanding. That's my little timer reminder. It's expanding and feeling like this magnetic pull towards that which I'm being offered or invited to do. Conversely, for me, a no is like contracting. It can be almost imperceptible, where it's like a tightening of the cells and the organs, like a little bit of a shrinking, like the opposite end of a magnet. I'm like being repelled away. I'm like, this is not for me. So, and I see there you're an emotional projector working with two sacral manifesting generators. So I don't know if this is an aura. You might be in penta a lot. If you're in physical penta a lot, then there's going to be a lot of conditioning going on, isn't there? You're probably conditioned to function like a builder a lot. But yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. And I don't know about you, Mike. I personally will not have a problem to have any rules around like no outside charts. If somebody wanted to bring in a partner's chart with their permission, of course, then I think that would be just fine, because something like that would be very helpful for you to see and to just get more insights and to really make your business flourish. I love that you have partners. I would love to have a collaborative partner. I've had a few over the years, but anyway, we've reached the top of the hour, and it was an absolute delight to be with you all. I do hope that we have answered all the questions in the chat. Sarah, thanks for your support behind the scenes. You've been doing a great job. Kylie's got her otter there. Anything, Michael or Vanessa? Did you see anything you want to respond to?
Maya, I really enjoyed this, and I love the scope of your program. It seems really in depth and it's really well thought out. So I'm appreciating all of this. And the questions that were put up on the chat are just really insightful. So yeah,
I agree.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yay. Awesome. Yeah, me too. And it's
Mari,
funny. Yeah, go ahead, Vanessa.
Right, there's one last question I figured rather than having them put it in the QA. For a business, if you have someone else doing your social media marketing, would you need their chart?
Oh, I see that now, Megan. Great question. Possibly, but not necessarily. Like, because I would imagine, Megan, that you're giving the final sign off. If someone's doing the social media, it's not like they're completely siloed, doing their own thing. I would imagine you're giving them guidance, you're giving them brand guidelines, you might be even giving them some content to repurpose, and then you're giving it the ultimate sign off. But by all means, if it would be helpful, we can do that. Did I see one of my own team members is here? Is she still here? Yeah, Adair. Adair is in Australia. She's actually been my community manager for years and years and years. She is a 1-3 triple split generator. And then my main assistant of 5 years, Jenny, is a 5-1 reflector. And it's just so helpful for me to know their charts and their activations and how to interact with them. So possibly, Megan, that would be something that we could definitely, we wouldn't need your social media person's chart, but if you wanted us to have a peek at it when you're in the hot seat or whatever, that wouldn't be a problem. Pascal saying, I wonder how the aura of the person posting would influence how the content is received. Yeah. One of my really top clients, it's a family run business, and one of their main spokespersons, she has the 6:59 and the 21. And so she's like, she's in control of how everything should be. And then, but she's been given script. They have agencies, agency doing organic, agency doing paid, and the agency gives her these video scripts. And you can feel, those of you expert human design professionals out there and BG5 professionals, if I was to put like number of videos up and you'd be like, okay, that one was really in alignment. She was feeling it. And that one, I think she's just going through the motions, reading the script. So there is an aspect of what we're talking about here that comes through. So anyway, we best press the pause button. I could chat to you till the cows come home. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day, morning, night, evening, wee early hours. I know, Adair, you set the alarm for 4 a.m. and anyone else who's from Australia. Angie says this was fantastic. I really appreciate it. Veronique, you are so welcome. Lovely to have you. Thank you, Lynn. Oh, Lynn Corbett was here. Yay. I'm so happy to see you here too. Excellent. Yeah. So we'll see you in the course if it feels correct for you. Any questions, by all means, reach out to any one of us. And we're here to support you and make sure that you get what you need for your business to thrive, flourish, make an impact on more people. Many blessings. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Vanessa. Thanks, Eva. Thanks, Sarah. I'm thinking.